I'm sitting here today with a dear friend and somebody I have a lot of respect for. I recently saw him perform at the Preserve Jazz Festival in Hoover. It was a hot, sunny day, and I said to him, the next time it rains, why don't you come inside and let's sit down and just talk and do an interview. That's correct. I am sitting here with Essential Recordings musician and great jazz musician, in my opinion, the greatest jazz musician ever, Eric Essix. Eric, it's great to have you here.
It's great to be here, and I'm sitting here with the president and CEO of Five Plan Partners and my very good friend, Mr. Greg Powell.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
It's a pleasure to be here with you.
I wanted to just talk to you about your CD that's one of my favorites. Just tell our folks how you came up to choose the title Birmingham for your CD.
The new CD. Well, back in 2001, I have to do a little backstory.
That's fine. Yeah.
I was with Warner Brothers Records, and I was wanting to do something a little different.
Yeah.
And you know, as an artist, you always try to be true to yourself and try to get the real person out there.
Yeah.
And I said, well, what is the best way to do that? Through my music. And I decided I would go back and do music that I grew up with, which is gospel music, soul music, blues, R&B, and that kind of stuff.
Just a little variety.
Just a little variety, and southern roots music, you know, basically. And so I came up with this concept to do a record called Southbound. Took it to Warner Brothers. They loved the idea. Yeah. So that was the first record that kind of dealt with the southern roots music thing, music that was true to my heart. And then I did a record called Somewhere in Alabama, and that one kind of stayed with the same thing.
Yeah.
And with this latest record, Birmingham, I thought, well, let's just bring it all home in a nice little trilogy, a nice little package. So it has the same kind of theme, but a little closer to home. There's songs on there about people, places, and experiences that I've had living here in Birmingham, Alabama, that kind of reflect my love for the South, my love for this city, and the love for the people here.
Well, you know how I like to know what goes on behind the scenes.
Right.
I'd like to know if you recorded Birmingham with the musicians that you perform with live, or did you bring in like studio musicians?
Well, for this particular record and all the records that I've ever done, I've used pretty much people that I perform live with. And the reason for that, and
it's a great group.
It's a great group of guys, number one, like you said, and secondly, all of the musicians are Southerners.
Yeah.
We all grew up playing music in the church together. We're all friends.
Sure. You can tell that.
Yeah. There's a vibe, a connection, a feeling of camaraderie, and a knowledge and understanding of what I'm trying to do when I present this whole Southern concept.
Yeah.
Amongst these guys that I used to do this record, and the other ones as well. And so I like to use the same guys because they understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Because they can articulate it.
Yeah.
So we kind of do that same kind of thing in the studio as well.
Another question I've just got to ask you, Miles Away. Tell me about Miles Away.
Out of all of the songs on the record, this one particular song seems to resonate with people who have purchased the record and listened to it. I get more responses and people telling me about how this song really affected them than any other song on the record. And I think it's because it was a song I wrote for my son.
Oh, yeah.
And it's the second time I've done that. Yeah, his name is Miles, and I wrote this song for him. And back, the very first record that I did with Warner Brothers, Small Talk, I did another song called Smiles. Just put the S on it, you know. We'll play on words. And so this is the second time I've written a song for him, but I think maybe the emotion that went into that particular song kind of touches people and it resonates with them for some reason.
That's neat that you did that.
Yeah.
What's your favorite song on Birmingham?
The answer to that question is it's always changing, but if I go with my current favorite, It's the title track, Birmingham. Yeah. It's just got that energy, and compositionally, it's simple in many ways, and then complex in other ways. I know it doesn't make much sense, but
no, I can see that.
Yeah, it's got a little mixture of both things, both elements.
People have no idea what it took to get there.
Exactly, but you can relate to it. And then there's some complexity in the harmony that's going on there. But I think a lot of people like it because it's up-tempo, it's driving, and it moves you. And it does me too. I listen to it, and every time I listen to it, I'm like, wow. It makes you want to move. So that's my current favorite.
That's great. Well, when you're, the creativity's flowing here, do you have to get off by yourself? Do you have a certain room you go to?
I'm finding that it's a different process all the time. When I lived in Boston, I did my third record, Third Degree Burn, right outside my apartment where I lived. I could oversee Boston Harbor.
Oh, well, great
beautiful view.
Oh.
And so I wrote a lot of music during that time, just because of the view. I'd sit there with acoustic guitar and just write. As I've, transitioned into other places and gotten older, and my tastes have evolved, and my process for writing has changed as well.
Yeah.
So now it's almost 100% pure inspiration, and it only happens, at a certain time. Like for the Birmingham record, all those songs just came, very, very quickly.
Felt inspired. And
I was inspired, and I wanted to do this last project for the trilogy, and the music just came out. So that's the way I write now.
Okay, so and let me ask you this. Okay, so you write, and you've heard it. How do you go about sharing it with others to kind of get some feedback, or do you do that?
I just pretty much write, put it out there, and hopefully it works. And I know everyone's not going to like every song on the record, but hopefully they'll find at least that, 1 or 2, 3 songs that they can connect with.
Right.
Yeah.
You realize, and you kind of said this even with yourself as you listen to Birmingham, but I hope you realize the impact you have on people's lives. Somebody's having a down day, they listen to your music and they get a different perspective on life.
I've been more and more conscious of the fact that what I do does affect people.
Yeah.
It used to be I really wasn't conscious of it. I would just do music because I love to do music, and hopefully you put it out there and someone else will enjoy it too.
Well, there's a huge rippling effect there that you never get to really know about at times.
That's right.
And that's why I was thrilled to do the interview. That's why we also wanted to have your CD here that we could give to people and share with them, not only about it's just a great representation of the quality of you, jazz music, Birmingham, but then also that when they leave here at Five Plan Partners, that one day they may be having a rough day and they just pop in that CD in the car, or they go to the on the back deck and just listen to it and go, you know what, life is that's pretty good. Just for what that's worth, that's feedback we get.
I'm so appreciative, man. It really means a lot to me that you think enough of the music to want to pass it on and share it with people, and hopefully it'll have some kind of positive connection with them as well.
And I'm glad it rained today. I'm glad we got the storm, so I could get you to come inside and actually do this interview. Just like we need jazz music in our life, we need a little rain every now and then.
There you go. Got to have it every now and again.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again. I appreciate it, Eric.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.